fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask, grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Q Show here. And now, before I do begin, I will be picking up from part 27. In part 28 we covered what happened in Midoriya's life over the course of the 8 months before he was sent to Sakar. And we'll be picking up after part 27. Now, Izuku Midoriya just took off Captain America's arm. He then used he murdered Hawkeye, and he did then use Captain America's shield to fight Thor. The battle ending with the two going blow for blow while Thor was in a berserker rage. And Midoriya snapped his fucking neck. Now, we do pick up there, where Midoriya he does fall backwards onto his ass, and he's trying to gain his bearing. He didn't know that Thor was that tough, especially whenever he got out of control. That was the warrior's madness. He knows what that's like. He's seen it before. He just never thought that Thor would be capable of it. Now, Midoriya does just sit there for 1 second, catching his breath, and thinking about how he came close to letting it all loose. Any further, and the void might have had a chance. Now, this is quite interesting, since the void does comment that Midoriya, he really did not think about that fight, did he? Now, Midoriya, he does just tell the void as he does sit there, no, he didn't. He wanted a fight and he got it. Besides, doesn't Asgard have this whole thing about them being reborn or something? Thor will be back in the next issue. Now, I'm making fun of that because there's a whole bunch of shit in Marvel about heroes always coming back from the dead. Look it up with the mutants, you'll understand. Now, Midoriya, he does then go to stand up, as humans are all booing Midoriya, and telling him that he murdered an Avenger. Midoriya turning to them and specifying that he murdered 2 Avengers, not just Thor. To which they all just begin to boo him more. And Midoriya does just shout at them all to shut up. They don't understand anything about the way this world does work. Midoriya asking them if they know what a Celestial is. Do they know what Galactus is? Do they know what the Silver Surfer is? Do they know what Sakar is? Him listing off a whole bunch of information the public has no idea about. Now, Midoriya does explain to them all that through his travels he's seen it all. And if he were to sit down and tell stories, they'd be here till the fucking sun dies. So, if they are all going to boo him, at least know his story. Midoriya waving his hand in front of them, as multiple people do see Midoriya's memory. The time he spent on Sakar, the way his life has been, and many of them are driven insane by it. As Midoriya he does go to take flight, and meet up with Hulk. Now, Midoriya he does then talk with him, after the Hulk has ripped apart Iron Man's Hulkbuster. And he does ask Midoriya where he was. Easy. I was in a fight with Thor. Really? And how did that end up? Well, I'm alive, aren't I? Let me just say, he's dead. You killed him. Yes, I did. It was either him or me. Besides, you know how Thor is. He's a warrior. He died how he wanted to. Now, Hulk does just turn his head looking at Midoriya. He knows that Thor wasn't responsible, but he would have tried something against them. He's aware of that much. And he does just reason that Thor was a guy he did always throw blows with back and forth. But they were never really friends. Now, Midoriya does ask about Black Bolt. Hulk already saying that he does have an obedience disc on the man already, and he's forbidden from opening his mouth. He's tried, but they wired his jaw shut for now. Now, Midoriya does ask about Iron Man. Hulk talking about how he's got him right where he wants him, and he's being taken away. Now, Hulk does then explain that he needs to go to the Baxter building and get Reed Richards. I'm sorry, Reed Richards. Yes. We need him. And besides, he was a part of them. Are you sure we won't encounter Franklin? Franklin? Yeah, you know, his crazy powerful son? I don't believe so. Besides, Reed's smart enough to know that that won't end well, sending a child after the World Breaker. He could destroy the world. Alright, I get it. So, Midoriya asking where is the building at. He'll take care of them. This being where Hulk does point that way, and Midoriya does fly in that direction. As the news is covering this, and the Earth's heroes are trying to figure everything out. Now, as Midoriya he does fly towards his location, you do have War Machine, along with the United States Air Force, who do encounter Midoriya and try to take him down. Now, War Machine has been augmented with high-level military technology. Parts from planes and even tanks. The War Machine armor he does wear is high-tech. And his quote-unquote Hulkbuster armor, or Tank Buster as they call it in the military, is supposed to be able to take down the Hulk. However, there's one problem. This guy is not the Hulk, it's never been field tested, and Midoriya quickly does rip it apart. As you do have him currently holding War Machine. Him holding him by the throat, as he does rip apart a giant piece of the armor, and toss it towards the ground. As he would then bring up his hand and rip off the War Machine helmet, asking if Commander James Rhodes really thought that was a good idea. Of course I did. Besides, not really here to stop you, I'm over distraction. Really? Now, this would be whenever a plane does try to fire missiles at Midoriya's back. Midoriya actually looking behind him and stopping the missiles mid-flight, before they do just shoot past him and go after the planes. And they hit their targets. Midoriya asking if he really thought that was going to work. Worth a shot? Him then trying to fire a laser into Midoriya's face, which ricochets. And Midoriya does just tell him that, you know, heroes are supposed to look after everyone. You failed everyone. 16 million dead. Can you explain that? Where was humanity whenever that happened? Nowhere. Hell, even in the other timeline, the place I used to think of as my home, you still did nothing. It's disgusting. To think I used to be a human. Now I'm a mutant. Hell, even I am more sympathetic than you. Now, Midoriya does tell James Rowe that if he does yield to him now, he'll let him go. He will rip apart the armor, but he'll still at least put him back on the ground. Now, Rhodey does just tell him that he's not going to give up. He'll just come after him with some bigger guys, and he'll come back stronger. Midoriya bringing his hand up and punching it into the arc reactor, before ripping it out and holding it in his hand, crushing it and then saying that, yeah right, before just letting go of Rhodey. Now, as he does fall to the ground, you do have a safety feature, which should have been in the armor since the Mark fucking 2. A parachute. Seriously, that always annoyed me. Tony Stark's a fucking lunatic. Why would you not put a parachute in that thing whenever you first fly it? That's a serious design flaw. Anyways. Now, just need to get that out of my system. Midoriya does head to the Baxter building. And as he's flying into the city, you do currently have the Fantastic Four. As Reed Richards, Susan Storm, Ben Grimm, and... Shit, did I say Johnny Storm? Anyways, Johnny Storm does go out to encounter him, and try to hold Midoriya off. As Midoriya and Johnny would fight. Midoriya remarking on how he reminds him of his father whenever he was in the other timeline. He had a quirk and he always complained that his name was trademarked. Johnny kind of confused, asking the kid what he's talking about. As Midoriya, he would explain it. Now, Midoriya, he does actually go to blast away with his full power. As Johnny, he is actually trying to hold back. And he does go to blast directly at Midoriya, as he's trying to get higher and higher in the atmosphere. He doesn't want to hit the earth with this. Now, he does start to just blast as much power as he can at Midoriya. As Midoriya, he's starting to be pushed back with his power. Him actually thinking for 1 minute. If that does hit him, he's going to be in a world of trouble, isn't he? I wonder. It's pretty nifty power. Maybe I should save it for Rogue. Yeah, he can live for now. Now, Midoriya, he would go. Well, there. I'm trying to think of the word. He goes to phase his body, and he immediately stops firing power in that way. As Johnny Storm, he does let loose a lot of power that way. And it does light up the night sky in other parts of the world. As Midoriya, he goes flying straight in, and he does just appear right in front of Johnny Storm, bring his hand up, and going to sock it downwards. Now, Johnny Storm does go rocketing back into the atmosphere, and he does smash into a building. As we do have Susan Storm, who she is trying to help Reed with his research. Now, we do actually have Midoriya who does come landing on the Baxter building. As he does, so you do have Susan, who does go to create a force field around her and Reed, as Ben Grimm would rush in, saying the signature line, "It's clobbering time." I love that line. Fuck, I'm such a fanboy. Anyways, now, he would rush in, and Midoriya, he does just casually knock away his hand before bringing his right hand up and literally knocking Ben Grimm's head off with a single blow. Now, whenever this does happen, Susan does scream, along with Reed, who is very much angered. As Midoriya would take in Reed Richards after almost lobotomizing Susan Storm. Or Susan Richards, my bad. Now, Reed, he did come quietly, if Midoriya promised not to hurt anyone else. And Midoriya did listen, as he flew away with Reed Richards. Now, what is it? Doctor Strange. Where is he and where is the Hulk around this time? Right now, Doctor Strange is currently using the power of, I believe, Dormammu to fight against the Hulk. That was an epic ass form. Anyways, him and the Worldbreaker are currently fighting. And he does feel all of the rage that does come with this power. Now, with all of that happening, Midoriya, he actually does go to fly around the world. As he does have a list he got from Iron Man of the Illuminati. It's supposed to consist of Franklin Richards, King T'Challa, Charles Xavier, Iron Man, and I believe I'm missing one more. The Atlantean guy, I think. I could be wrong. Now, Midoriya, he does handle the Atlantean, along with the complete obliteration of Atlantis. Now, all Midoriya really had to do was heat things up a bit, and change the way matter did work in the ocean. He did devastate the entire area. However, he did bring him in. And you do even have where he currently does go to land in Wakanda. He was able to sense all the minds gathered here in one location. And you do currently have Wakanda, who does have a force field built around the area, along with even some personalized guards made of vibranium. Since T'Challa, he has been preparing for this day. However, he didn't think that it would be Midoriya who came knocking on the front door. Now, we do have Midoriya who does stand outside of Wakanda. And he does look into the force field. As you do have T'Challa who does come walking up. And ask Midoriya to politely leave the area. You see, King T'Challa, I can't do that. You sent us away. I did no such thing. Really? Well, I find that hard to believe. Do you? Why are you so angry? Because you took something very important to Hulk, and you took away something that I've deserved my whole life. Deserved? What do you... Please specify. A peaceful life. A place to call home. That's what you took from me. From Hulk, you took more. His wife. His unborn child. Now, T'Challa, he does have his eyes widen. As he does then turn to somebody and command them to lower the force field. Now, Midoriya, he's taken aback by this simple action. As T'Challa, he does stand there for 1 minute with his arms behind his back. Him holding his amulet in case he does need to suit up quickly. Now, he does inform Midoriya to please come with him. He can show him his memories, and the two can have a chat. He would like to solve this diplomatically without anyone dying here today. Now, Midoriya would just bring his hand up. And T'Challa he does go to try and suit up. However, he does hesitate when Midoriya he did bring his hand up fast, and then he did slow down, putting his thumb on T'Challa's forehead, and seeing what exactly happened that day. As the Illuminati was sitting down, and T'Challa he did just stand there in the door, looking at all of them. They are currently in the city of the dead, where no one other than the Black Panther can be at. Him informing all of them that he will not be giving his opinion on the matter, since this is going to come back to bite them all, and he's not going to be a part of it. So, whatever they do decide, he has no part in. Now, Midoriya, he would just bring his hand away from T'Challa's head and say that he could have just said he had nothing to do with it. To which T'Challa would try to explain. He wouldn't have believed him. He doesn't trust humanity. You are a very smart man. I must be. I am a leader after all. I know. Now, Midoriya, he actually would have a chat with T'Challa, as he does ask him if he's ever lost anyone, to which he would explain his father. Now, Midoriya would go to leave. However, T'Challa does leave him with some words to think about. Young man, what is it, T'Challa? You do not understand the way the world works. It has many mysteries. It's full of wonder. However, do not let your hatred poison you. Death is, well, something that should be cherished. It doesn't mean that you were forgotten. It just means that you are becoming part of something greater. Really? And what would that greater thing be? Well, you see, if I had the answer to that, I don't know. I would love it, hate it, that is up to you. I would find it beautiful, you'd find it horrific. That is the difference. It is the way you perceive things. It is the way you act upon them. Now, Midoriya would just fly away without saying anything, as T'Challa would breathe a breath of fresh air, and inform them to put the shield back up. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys have enjoyed. Have an amazing night. Catch you guys on the next part.